What's up, guys? This is Matt Singer from ScreenCrush.com, and today we're counting down the top 5 franchise reboots of all time. Yes, it's true, sometimes a reboot is the last act of a desperate man, or Spider-Man, but not every reboot is a barbaric act designed to destroy a beloved property. In fact, some of the biggest movie series of all time have been completely revitalized by a well-timed reboot, and the movies they created are downright fantastic. Poor choice of words on my part. Let's kick this list of the best reboots of all time off with number 5, Dredd. Now, I know the adventures of Mega City's greatest lawman are supposed to take place in a dark dystopian landscape of ruin and despair, but no actual apocalypse could compare with the cinematic devastation that is 1995's Judge Dredd, starring Sylvester Stallone.
Sly!
No, I'm afraid that's the truth, Sly.
The evidence has been falsified! It's impossible!
Yeah, I have no idea what Stallone is saying there. But I do know that Dredd barely wears his signature helmet and costume and spends most of his time playing straight man to Rob Schneider. It's basically Deuce Bigalow dystopian sci-fi gigolo. And it's horrible.
I never broke the law! I am the law!
And I am the disappointed viewer.
Thankfully, 2012's Dredd corrected all the 95's Judge Dredd's mistakes. No bad comedy, no Rob Schneider, no dopey clones, no Rob Schneider, no love interest, and most importantly, no Rob Schneider. It also delivered a great performance from Karl Urban, who was egoless enough to play the entire film wearing the character's full costume. Sadly, this Dredd actually made less money at the box office than the Stallone one. Like I said, this really was a cinematic apocalypse. Alright, number 4, The Planet of the Apes. There wasn't a whole lot of juice left in the Planet of the Apes by the time the series got around to 1973's Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and after a brief TV series and even an animated series, the whole world was laid to rest for a while. The first attempt at a reboot came in 2001 when Tim Burton made a version starring Mark Wahlberg and Tim Roth that was dumb enough to make you scream,
You maniacs! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Fortunately, the next attempt at a reboot was way smarter. 2011's Rise of the Planet of the Apes instead told the origins of the title planet from the perspective of an ape given incredible intelligence via an experimental drug. The film was such a success, the reboot got a sequel, 2014's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and a third film is scheduled for 2017. And that's all well and good. But what about Abraham Lincoln? Will you never reveal the shocking secret? Damn you, Tim Burton! Damn you all to hell! Let's move on, shall we? Number 3, James Bond. Here's a cue for you.
007. I'm your new quartermaster.
You must be joking.
No, not that cue, a question. Prior to 2005's Casino Royale, the 007 series had managed to change lead actors 4 different times without rebooting. Carrying on like the wacky shenanigans that happened to Roger Moore also happened to the intense and brooding Timothy Dalton, who also happened to be the same dude as wry, swaggering Pierce Brosnan. So why reboot things after 2002's Die Another Day? Well, when you have a supposedly secret agent windsurfing along the edge of a tsunami, it may be time to reassess things. That's exactly what producers did with Casino Royale, which took Bond back to basics. No windsurfing, no invisible cars, just globe-trotting action, a little Texas Hold'em, and a guy, played by Daniel Craig, who likes to say his name twice.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
This Bond, James Bond, God, it sounds so much cooler when he says it, has proven one of the most popular ever, with his most recent adventure, Skyfall, considered one of the very best in the franchise's history. Doesn't have any windsurfing, though. On to number 2, Star Trek. Even the most hardened Trekkie, like this guy, would admit that after Star Trek Nemesis, this franchise was in desperate need of some new blood. Wait a second. Is that Tom Hardy? What the hell is he doing in Star Trek Nemesis?
The point is that finally the Empire is realizing that there is a better way.
You're right, Tom Hardy! That better way was reimagining the series' original crew and their very first mission. True, we missed William Shatner, DeForest Kelley, and George Takei, but these new Star Trek adventures gave us Chris Pine, Zoe Saldana, and Karl Urban, who between this and Dredd shall henceforth be known as the Lord of the Reboots. The late great Leonard Nimoy was on hand to provide some continuity, and director J.J. Abrams gave us exactly what you want from a good reboot. Something that respects a franchise's roots while boldly going into new and uncharted territory. And speaking of which, let's get to our #1 franchise reboot of all time. You guessed it, it's Batman. By Joel Schumacher.
I freeze, I'm Batman. I freeze, I'm Batman. I freeze.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. It's by Christopher Nolan. Although I have to say, that song is damn catchy. As must already be clear from that little clip, there was nowhere left to go with the 90s Batman franchise after Joel Schumacher double-tapped the thing into oblivion with Batman and Robin. Thankfully, at its lowest point, the franchise fell into the hands of filmmaker Christopher Nolan, whose Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises revitalized Bruce Wayne by retracing his origins and taking seriously the concept of a crazy orphan who decides to avenge the death of his parents by dressing in a black latex suit. These movies were everything the Schumacher Batmen were not. Fantastic performances, brilliant writing, fascinating themes, and reasonably sized codpieces. Holy batarang, Batman. Let's just hope the new Batman, played by Ben Affleck in Batman vs. Superman's Dawn of Justice, lives up to the legacy of Christian Bale, and not down to the legacy of George Clooney. Otherwise, Batman may begin again very soon. For ScreenCrush, I'm Matt Singer. Thanks for watching, and for even more, make sure to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and get the latest movie and TV news on ScreenCrush.com.